Okay, real talk. Picture this. I moved to Portugal and I literally could not even find a grocery store for several months. And you know what happened next? I talked about it on my new YouTube channel. This was 3 years ago when this happened. And people flooded the channel with really mean comments. They called me dumb or weak for struggling with something so simple. And what was pretty funny is most of them had never left their home country. But here's the truth. Everyone's got their own version of easy. And if you've ever felt judged for finding something hard, you are not alone. So today I'm going to share with you what really happened and some of the things people have said to me, but most importantly, why your struggles are absolutely valid no matter what they are or what anyone else thinks. So if that sounds interesting to you, let's get into it. Hello, I'm Kimberly Ann. If you don't know me, I am a US expat. I moved to Portugal in 2022, sight unseen. I'd never been to Portugal before, and I did not have a support group, and I really didn't know what I was doing, and that's okay. So I'm here to lead you through what happened and empower you to do the same if that's what you want to do, whether it's move to Portugal or elsewhere. I did want to say that the reason that I'm even making this video at all is because I don't want you to feel bad for something you can't figure out when you move to a new country, or even if you live in your own country and there's something that you're struggling with. It's valid. And nobody has the right to tell you that it's not. Nobody has the right to invalidate your experiences. So I'm going to go back to the grocery thing. So many people commented. It was crazy. I found today hidden comments, which they were blocked or whatever. And so I hadn't seen them. And I was so surprised and tickled pink, really. They made me laugh. They made me laugh so much. People calling me ugly, people accusing me of plastic surgery or whatever it is, because I'm 59 years old and my mother's 86 and looks like she's 40. So yeah, we've got good genes. Anyway, whatever, who cares? The point being that it was pretty interesting, all of the anger and how upset people were that I couldn't find a grocery store. It was a lot of people that were upset about that. I guess it triggered them or something. Or the backstory is that I arrived here without anywhere to live. And I had a place. It fell through at the last minute. I had a place for a year, and it fell through at the very, very last minute. So I had nowhere to go. I had never been to Portugal before. I was by myself, alone, solo, with a very old dog. Very old, very needy, very scared little dog. And so, yeah, walking around the streets lugging 2 huge suitcases and my poor little dog. I couldn't find a grocery store. I couldn't find one. And what I mean by a grocery store, I should say, is an actual supermarket. So yeah, there are little teeny small little grocery stores pretty much everywhere. Not everywhere, but pretty much everywhere. You know, it's really funny. Actually, I just remembered my 4th or 5th month in Porto, I was stopped by a couple on the street who were really upset, and they said, look, we're visiting here and we've been here for 3 days and we can't find a grocery store. Can you help us? And I was like, yes, I can. So it's not just me, and hopefully this won't happen to you, but it might. And if it doesn't, something else is going to happen. And so yeah, so going back to the backstory, if I left my huge suitcases if I finally found a place to rent or found somebody to stay with or whatever it was, and both those things did happen, and left my suitcases, I couldn't leave my dog in the apartment. So I'm walking around with my poor dog. Dogs aren't allowed in any grocery stores. And as mentioned, there might be they're not 7-Elevens, but they might as well be. They're just small mini marts where they don't have a lot of stuff, or maybe they don't have a lot of stuff, or maybe they don't have what I need, or I don't even know what I need because I just moved here and everything's in Portuguese and I don't know. I don't know how to read it. Yes, I did study Portuguese for 1 full year with a teacher before I moved here, but so maybe you're not great at languages. Maybe you have some struggles. Maybe you're dyslexic. Nobody's perfect. That's life. And so it took me a really long time before I found a supermarket. And another big reason for that is there aren't a lot of major, big, huge supermarkets in a city because they take up a lot of space. So a cool thing is that all of the malls have supermarkets, big supermarkets. I'm not a mall person. I've never been a mall person. I didn't even know that I should go to the malls, but here malls are huge. And the reason is, I think, no one's told me this, but I think it's because the winters are so cold and rainy and the summers can be really hot. So malls are a good place to shop. And of course, everything's in one place. They have parking underneath, and it's just a little bit easier for people. And all of them, every single major mall has a huge grocery store, which is really cool, and one of the major chain grocery stores. But if I have my dog, I couldn't shop in those stores, number one. Number two, I didn't even know about that. For months, I didn't know about that until I figured it out because I was here on my own. Hello. So I just want to say a couple things. So maybe you do think I'm stupid. That's fine. You can think I'm an idiot. You don't have to tell me that. That's not nice. But you can, if you want to, you can. I'm not going to care. But I don't hold what I can do that other people can't do over them. So I'll give you an example. I have written and published, I've written 30 novels and I've published 20 of them. And I don't tell people that haven't been able to write a single novel or have been struggling trying to write their first novel. I don't call them names. I don't tell them that they're stupid or idiots because I can't believe you can't even finish your first novel. Aw, come on. That's crazy. So I just happen to, I studied a lot, and I studied a lot. So there's a big backstory there. I studied for years and years and years about how to write novels and have a degree in screenwriting and this and that, and who cares? It doesn't even matter. But the point being that I want to be an advocate. I want to tell people that they can do whatever you can do whatever you set your mind to doing. You can do it. If you want to, you can do it. And I want to be a cheerleader, and I am a cheerleader. I get a lot of comments from clients saying I'm their biggest cheerleader, and that's important. That's what's important to me. The reason that I'm doing this YouTube channel and putting all these videos together, and believe me, it takes me hours and hours and hours and hours of editing, and I'm not making a penny from it, but the reason that I'm doing it is to help people like you. The people that need help, the people that want help, the people that are looking for help. And in this particular situation, people that are not finding validity or support from your family or friends. So you're probably not going to have strangers online calling you an idiot for not being able to find a grocery store. That's my cross to bear, but and I'm happy to bear it. I really am. And the reason that I talk about how difficult it was for me to find a grocery store is because it's relatable. It's relatable. It's true. It happened. And I don't want other people to feel like they're less than because maybe they can't do something that is easy for one person but difficult for somebody else. And I had a fan running the whole time, so I hope that wasn't too loud. But I think that it's really, really important for all of you to know that whatever your experiences are, it's okay and it's normal and it's hard. Moving to a new country, not knowing anybody, not having support from your friends and family, that happened to me. So and I'm not saying all of my friends or all of my family were not supportive. That is not true at all. Some were extremely and still are extremely supportive. And I am really grateful for them. But not everybody is going to be. And people will question your choices and what you've decided to do. And I just want you to know that that's okay too. You don't have to talk to them about it. You don't have to make yourself a target. And when people are mean and say really mean things, it's coming from either envy, and that's usually it. They're usually envious. And this is the same with the trolls online, the ones that aren't bots, because there's probably plenty that are bots and not even real people. But there's envy. There's a lot of envy. And there's a lot of entitlement. I'm better than you because, and that's really, they're people that really feel bad about themselves. They just have a very low self-esteem, and it makes them feel better about themselves if they put somebody else down. And then the third and really common one is fear. And if you couch their comments, and I'm again talking about your friends and family, if you couch their comments and their responses into one of those three categories, I think that they will make more sense for you. And I think that it will be easier for you to handle them and to deal with them. One of the funny comments that I received was, what an idiot I am for not having a sweater when I moved here in the winter. But I didn't move here in the winter. So I moved here in the fall, in September, on September 4th, actually. And again, I had no place to live. My housing fell through. So yeah, I didn't bring a sweater because I figured I would have housing and be able to buy a sweater. Plus, I also thought that, well, more than thought, I had looked at the weather in Portugal and had studied it, and it didn't seem that cold, and I wasn't prepared for the humidity. So you can have your best plans, and I encourage you to make plans, but things go awry. Things don't go as planned. So something could happen, and in my Portugal Didn't Break Me video, which, wow, people really responded crazily to that one, I did talk about how I had a lot of trauma my first year here. The trauma didn't have to do specifically with Portugal, but it was compounded because I was in Portugal and I was in a new country and I didn't know anyone and I didn't know the services and I had to have major surgery and this and that and people dying and on and on. And so it was compounded and made more difficult because I was in a new and I just want to say a new environment, somewhere that I wasn't familiar with. It would have been hard even if I had been back in California, where I'm from, but it was extra difficult because I was in Portugal. So if you're having trouble with anything in a new country, in your own country, it's valid. If you can't figure out the transportation here in Portugal, I mean, from simple things. I have some friends talking about grocery stores because I love, obviously, to talk about grocery stores. And I have a shopping video that I'll post up here. And then if you want to check that out, and then I have some more that I've already shot. So I'm excited to share those with you guys. But I have a couple friends here that they are so stuck on they have to have this specific paper product, they have to have this specific tea, they have to have these specific pickles or whatever it is, fill in the blank. And so they spend a whole day going to different grocery stores here in Portugal to get all the different things that they need or that they feel that they have to have. I am not putting those people down. I'm not saying that they are wrong or bad for doing that. I choose not to do that. I instead choose to adapt, and I talk a lot about adaptability. Actually, I have a video here talking about how adaptability, I think, is the number one quality to have or learn to have when you move abroad. But the point being that if I can't find my favorite paper products or I can't find the tea that I like to drink, then I pivot and I find a different tea or I drink water. This is water. drink a lot of water or whatever. And I don't even like water that much. It doesn't taste like anything. It's not my favorite thing, but I drink it all day. And then, it kind of grows on you. So I'm just saying that because some people are less flexible, especially when they've moved abroad. And that, again, is totally fine and totally valid. And I would never tell them to be more flexible. I will just say that it is easier if you are. It's a lot easier. So I only have to go to one grocery store and I can find what I need. And that is, that's just the way it is. Now, saying that, I will say that I do have a specific type of sponge that I really like. And I don't like any of the other sponges. And so I will go out of my way to go to a specific grocery store, and they sell these sponges in a couple different stores, but they're the least expensive in one store. So that's the store that I do go to. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. If you are confused about anything, it's big moving to another country. It's really big. And even if you have been studying the language before you move here, the accents are going to be different. The people are going to speak a lot faster than you're used to. It's going to be a different experience. You're going to be thrown kind of in the middle of, I don't want to say chaos because I prefer to use the word adventure, because I talk with friends about how just going to the grocery store is an adventure, can be a full adventure. And that's good. That's fun. Adventure's amazing. It's so great to have constant adventure in your life. So I think I've beaten this. I don't want to say beaten a dead horse because I'm vegan and I don't like saying things like that. Some idioms are not my favorite, but you get what I mean. I think I've spoken enough about this, and I'm just going to let you know that I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader. You are strong. You are amazing. You are beautiful inside and out. No matter what anyone else says, I don't care what they say. You can do this, and I believe in you 100%. And I have absolutely no problem sharing with you and anybody else who wants to hear it what was a challenge for me. And I throw myself right under the bus to say that I could not find a grocery store. And I'm proud of it. I could not find one for 4 months. And I'm proud of it because that's the truth. That is the absolute 100% truth. And if people want to put me down and make fun of me for it, okay, that's not my problem. That's their problem. So I hope that you have more confidence after watching this. And it's my hope that you go easier on yourself. Okay? So if people are in your life are saying whatever they're saying and it's negative in any way, please, in one ear, out the other. Please, 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 please. And this does come with age and experience. Well, it did for me. I shouldn't say it does for you, because I know plenty of 20-year-olds that already have this down pat. But for me, it took a long time. Basically, it wasn't until I turned 50 that I was like, no, I'm done. And publishing 20 books on Amazon and having quite a few, mostly, I would say, I have like 4.5 stars of 5-star reviews, but a half a star of one-star reviews. And those reviews are brutal, but you develop a thick skin and it just rolls off your back. And I can't tell you to do that because it's a hard skill to master. But once you do, yeah, you do. And having strangers say mean things to you doesn't really mean anything because they don't know you and you know that, so who cares? But having people that you know and love say mean things, that hurts. That does. And so I'm just here to tell you that I see you. I am here for you. I want to be your advocate. And I've said it already, I think 6 times, but you can do this. You've got it. So if you found any value from this video, and I hope you did, I would love it if you would subscribe. I would love that so much. And if not, that's fine too. Move along and watch other videos about moving to Portugal because everybody's got something really, really valid to say. I love all the other people that are creating videos about Portugal out there. And I want you to find whoever you resonate with, whether it's me or somebody else or several people. It's all good. I do have quite a few freebies. So if you join my newsletter, you get some downloadable booklets to help your move abroad a little bit, make it a little bit easier. I do offer consulting. Yes, I do. Of course I do. Gotta earn a living. Gotta buy food at those grocery stores I can't find. So if that interests you, it's all in the description below. But regardless, just be you and have fun with this, because moving to a new country is fun. Yes, tiring, exhausting, hair pulling, scary, but it's really, really, really fun. And thank you for being here. And I'll see you in the next video.